Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another one brand makeup tutorial featuring NYX. You guys already know NYX is one of my favorite brands. I know I say this about like every drugstore brand. I feel like honestly I love all drugstore brands minus a few, but for the most part I do love everything drugstore. But yeah, today we're going to be diving into a bunch of NYX products. I haven't done a one brand tutorial with NYX in almost 3 years, and since then they've had so many new launches. I have so many new favorites, so I figured we could play with some old favorites of mine and a couple new things that I've never tried before, but for the most part I have tried the majority of their things. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Hope you guys enjoy. Definitely grab a snack and subscribe if you have not already, and let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay guys, so of course first we're starting off with brows. So I'm gonna go in first with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I've actually used this before and I wasn't a fan of it just because of the consistency. I remember it was just a little too dry for me, so maybe they changed the formula, I don't know. A lot of people love this, so we're gonna test it out again today. This one is in the shade Espresso. I haven't used this in a really long time, so I'm sure the formula maybe is a little bit better, but it's just like that traditional brow pencil. It has a spoolie on the end, it's really tiny, so let's do this. Okay, and I'm just gonna take this just to outline the brows. Ooh, okay. So like right off the bat, it's already a lot creamier than what I can remember. Oh wow, maybe I got a dud at the time. It's looking pretty good. Like before it felt like such a dry formula to the point where like I would use it and it would break, like the tip of it would come off. So definitely feels so much better already. So this, so far so good. If I need to like fill in any sparse hairs, I will do that in just a minute, but I'm gonna fill in with the pomade. This is the TAME and Frame Tinted Brow Pomade. I've used this before. This was actually like an old favorite of mine and I haven't used it in quite some time, and I got this one in the shade Espresso. It's just like a deep dark brown. I love dipping into like a fresh pomade. Oh my gosh. Probably gonna be a little dark. Oh no, actually it's gonna be good. Because typically whenever you're using a new pomade, it can look a little bit more harsh just because it's like fresh, you know? Ooh, this is nice. I like this combo. Oh my gosh, I haven't used this in so long. I used to use this all the time. So I'm gonna go in with their full coverage concealer. This one is in the shade Beige. It's just like their little concealer that comes in a jar. I personally don't like this for the face, but I really like this for cleaning up the brows. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, this is really good. It's like super creamy. Why did I stop using this? Okay, I'm really loving the brows. The products were super easy to work with and I actually really like this micro brow pencil. So I'm gonna add that to my favorites for sure. So now I'm gonna prime my lids. I'm gonna use the NYX Proof It eyeshadow primer. You guys know I love this. This really does make your shadows last all day, and I truly believe that this is waterproof. Like this has lasted me through sweating, crying, everything. It's an amazing eyeshadow primer. Okay, so today for eyeshadows I'm going to use this NYX Ultimate eyeshadow palette. So I have used NYX eyeshadows in the past and I feel like for me they're hit or miss. Some palettes I really like, some palettes I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it really just depends, but I will say NYX eyeshadows compared to other drugstore brands are a little bit more on the pricey side. Just something to keep in mind, but we're going to test this out today. I haven't used this palette, at least I don't think so. I don't remember, but I just grabbed this one because it just looked like the most appealing to me, of course, because it's like warm tones. So I'm gonna start off, I think, what do I want to do today? I think I'm gonna do this color right here to start, and I'm gonna just apply that right in my crease. The shadow is not working properly. Let's get it in there and blend it out. I'm gonna go into this hot orange shade right in here, and I'm gonna apply that in my crease. Pretty intense. I just feel like with these shadows you really have to take your time blending. Next I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is like a deeper, almost like reddish color. I'm gonna take that right in my crease. It's looking a little splotchy, as you can see. Trying not to use too much product. I mean, the colors are pigmented though, I will say, but you definitely cannot use too much at once because then I feel like it's not gonna blend that great. I feel like I'm so quiet so far in today's video. I'm sorry, I'm just like really focused. I'm trying to really blend these shadows and I'm honestly trying to think of like what kind of look I'm going for. So I'm like really focused and concentrated. I'm gonna go into this bronzy shade right here. I'm gonna apply this all over my lid because I feel like it's looking a little too much right now, a little too red. I need to break up the red and add a little shimmer in there. So I am dipping and spraying my brush. Pretty. The shimmer is really pretty. I'm really packing it on. And by the way, the spray that I used is just from NYX. It's their Radiant spray, which I'm going to use later on to set my makeup. This shimmer is really, really pretty. I'm almost like cutting my crease a little bit. Basically, I'm just using no concealer. I'm gonna take a little bit of this deep purple. I'm gonna kind of feather that right on the outer part of my lid. Just a little bit. So that's like the lazy girl, easy way, beginner friendly cut crease-ish, because it looks obviously like the crease is very cut, very precise, but I didn't use any concealer. So I definitely recommend, if you're doing that, just spray your brush with some of your favorite like setting spray. You could even use eye drops. Really concentrate on packing on the color and just carving out your crease a little bit just with the eyeshadow. It just gives it a more precise look, you know, without being as complicated as like using the concealer and all that, which I'm not good at cut creases, so I really like doing this. Okay, so I did apply some e.l.f. eye tapes just because I'm gonna do my winged liner. I'm gonna use this Epic ink liner. Epic ink liner, and I actually used this in one of my last drugstore videos, and I told you guys that I didn't think it was super black, but I also had a lot of issues with my eyeshadow and like concealer, and if you watch that video you know what I'm talking about. But so many of you guys told me to test it out again because a lot of you guys really love this liner. I really did like the way it applied and everything. I just felt like it wasn't super black, but again, I also did have a lot of issues in that video, so I'm gonna test it out again. That was definitely me in the last video because this is definitely showing up a lot more black than in that video. I loved the formula of this and I'm loving it right now as well. That's looking good. This is a really easy formula to work with. Definitely are not even, but this eyeliner, wow, I'm like really loving it. It's like really, really easy to work with, and this is super black. So I actually want to do a little double winged liner today because, you know, this look is pretty basic, so let's amp it up a little bit. So I think I'm going to do this color. Or should I do orange? Or is orange? Yeah, no. Okay. I'm going to go in with the NYX Vivid Brights liner. I've actually used these before. I love them. I love adding pops of color with liner. It's like my favorite way to add color because you guys know, like, I'm basic. These are the Vivid Brights liners. They are just like a traditional liquid liner, but they're just like colored and they're very easy to work with, super bright and very fun. So I'm gonna take this and I'm basically just gonna do my wing and just kind of follow along with what I already did, just right up top. A little pop of pink there, that's cute. I like this color. This is the only color I think that I've never tried. I also have this orange one that I haven't tried, but I've tried like the blue, the yellow, the white. That kind of just gives it a little pop, but it's still wearable. It's just fun, you know, it's like a little bit of a different vibe versus just like traditional black winged liner. So I really like these. Okay, yay, I'm happy, I'm loving this. So I'm gonna go in with the On the Rise mascara. I've actually never used this before, but I've heard really, really good things about it. And of course I'm gonna do falsies, but I still wanna coat my lashes just a little bit. The wand is one of those like rubberized wands. Looks like that. Okay, so for lashes today, since this is like a drugstore makeup look, I'm gonna use affordable lashes. These are from Kiss. These are the Lash Couture Triple Push-Up Lashes. I love these. Okay, so not gonna lie, I had my doubts about this eyeshadow look at first with the eyeshadows, but I feel like I was able to make them work, and I'm really, really loving this look, especially with the pink liner. I feel like that really pulled it together. So now for the skin, I'm actually a big fan of NYX complexion products. I think they're great. So one of my all-time favorite products is their Bare With Me Prime, Set, and Refresh multitasking spray. So you can use this before makeup to refresh your makeup and then to set your makeup as well. And I also really like their first base primer spray. That one's really great, but this is just the one that I currently have on hand. I feel like honestly they're both the same. I feel like just the bottles are different. Like this one's a little bit bigger. Now for primer, this is actually a new primer. This is their Pore Filling Primer. I literally just picked this up today and it's already getting dirty because the packaging is white, but it looks like this. I've never tried this before. This one kind of reminds me of like the Benefit Professional, like it has that consistency. Oh wow. This really did smooth out the skin. For foundation, if you guys have been with me for a while, this is really no surprise. I'm using the Born to Glow. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations. It is so pretty on the skin. And I actually haven't used this in a little bit because I've been using the Wet n Wild Dewy Foundation, but I love this. It's only $10. The shade range is great. It's just a really like naturally radiant foundation, just like it says. So I'm gonna just take this and I'm gonna just dot it everywhere. I do have some acne here. I don't know why I'm breaking out on that side of my face. I don't know, but we gotta cover it up. I also have their sponge, which I didn't even know NYX had a sponge, to be honest. This is their Complete Control sponge, and it just looks like this. It's kind of like angled and it looks kind of funky, but I'm here for it. So it doesn't feel very bouncy, like, you hear that? It's like a little hard, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna see how it looks with one layer. I can already tell you I don't like this sponge. I feel like it's almost like not giving me the full coverage that I want too, because it's kind of like soaking in a lot of the product. Oh man, I really like the shape of it too. Like I love funky sponges like this because you can really get in there and like blend and be more precise and clean up contour and you know, all that kind of stuff. But this sponge, it's just not bouncy enough for me, you know? Here we go. Yeah, see this one? Like, you can't really hear it on my face. The other one, like, you could just, like, tell that it was not a bouncy sponge. But I love this foundation. It really is just a really great everyday friendly foundation, and it's not too dewy. The Wet n Wild one I feel like is a little bit more dewy than this one. So maybe if you have super dry skin, you would go with the Wet n Wild one. I mean, the NYX one is really great. NYX one, it just gives you a little bit more of a natural dew, but it's so pretty. Like, I do really love this foundation. Get it? Dew. So now for concealer, I have two concealers here and I've tried both of them, but I got the wrong shades. I finally have like lighter shades that I'm going to kind of retest out today. So I have the Born to Glow Radiant Concealer and I have this one in the shade Vanilla. Then I have the Can't Stop Won't Stop Contour Concealer and this one is in the shade Natural. This is just like a traditional like doe foot applicator kind of concealer. So I'm going to start off with this one. And I'm gonna do this side with this concealer and then I'm gonna do the other with the other concealer and we're gonna see how it looks. Wow, this is really light. Okay, this is not gonna work. I'm gonna use the other side of the sponge to blend this out. Okay, this color is good. This color is not. Girl, this is too light, Jasmine. No, like we are not in 2014 anymore. I used to do my concealer like this back in the day when I thought it was cool. I feel like they both have medium coverage, to be honest. If anything, I feel like the Born to Glow has a little bit more coverage than the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. So I'm gonna try to build this side up and see what it looks like. And I'm probably gonna add some of this concealer to the other side just to balance out the shade. They are super easy to blend. I feel like these are really great, maybe more like everyday friendly concealers for those of you who don't want really full coverage. Oh, I'm actually really liking the Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. I think a little bit more than the other one. The formula is a little bit more lightweight. It's like really, really seamless under the eyes. I really like the color too. The color Natural I think is like a perfect shade. It gives me like a little bit of brightness, but it's not too much. The Born to Glow isn't bad either. But I don't know, there's something about the Can't Stop Won't Stop that I think just looks really airbrush on the skin. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set under my eyes. I'm gonna use the HD finishing powder in the shade Banana. I love this. This is like an old favorite. This is so pretty. So I'm gonna take this and I'm just going to set right under the eyes. I love it. NYX also has a contour kit that I really like, that I used to use all the time, but I didn't grab it because it was like $26. I'm like, that's kind of pricey for NYX. So I feel like NYX has like certain products that are like super affordable, really great. Like for instance, a lot of their complexion products I feel like are pretty affordable for the most part, like foundation, concealers, powders. But when you start getting into like their palettes, they are a little bit more pricey. I'm just gonna very lightly dust this powder on the rest of my face. They also have another powder that I cannot seem to find in my collection. I don't know if like I lost it or something or got rid of it by accident. I mean, I don't know why I would have though, because it really is amazing. But I believe it's called the Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. I'll insert it right here, but that one is such a great press powder for setting your face. It's almost like a mineralized powder. Like it just feels like so soft and velvety. And it's a really great under eye and setting powder. So that one's great as well. I just, like I said, I couldn't find it. Then to bronze, I'm gonna use their matte bronzer in the shade Medium. This is another product that I used to use all the time, like an OG product, and I haven't used it in a long time. So I'm excited to kind of like retest it out again today. It's pretty warm too, like it's a very rich bronzer. Could like double up as a blush too. It's very warm, but it's like super pigmented and really soft. Now for blush, NYX used to have a Sweet Cheeks palette that I used to love, but I believe that was limited edition. But I do have their Sweet Cheeks single blush. This is really, really dark for me. I feel like their blushes are really great for like my medium tan, more darker skin tone people out there. You guys will love their blushes because they are super silky and soft. I just wish that they had some lighter shades. But honestly, I'm kind of happy about that because I feel like a lot of brands always cater to lighter shades and not darker shades. So I'm really happy that they do have blushes for darker, deeper skin tones. But this is the lightest blush that they do have, which I'm going to try to make work today. I'm going to do it just a little bit because, like I said, it is so pigmented. And this one is in the shade Citrine Rose, which is just a really pretty like rose color. Very pretty, you just have to use a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and set my brows, and I'm using the Tinted Brow Mascara in the shade Black. If you know, you know. I love this. This is so good. This really does keep your brows in place all day. I can never skip this step. Like if I do, my brows are gonna be like off by the end of the night. Like this is crucial. So I've been really loving their new High Glass finishing powder. If you really like a natural glow, you will love this powder. This one's in the shade Light. It just really gives you kind of like that glow from within. If you want something a little bit more intense, I recommend checking out their High Glass illuminating powders. This almost reminds me of like a ColourPop Super Shock Shadow. Has like that creamy texture, but it dries down to a powder finish. This one in the shade Moon Glow is really pretty, but I've just been into like something a little bit more on the natural side. So I'm gonna just use a little bit of this. It's so soft and so pretty. I'm gonna finish up the eyes really quickly. I'm just gonna go back into the same eyeshadow palette, and I think I'm just gonna take this shade and this color, and I'm just gonna smudge that on there. Then for liner, I have the Faux Black's Inner Eyeliner, and this one is their brown shade, specifically in Burnt Sienna. Ooh, that's pigmented. I love their slide-on, glide-on pencils as well. The lip pencils and the eye pencils are really great, but I've never tried this specific liner. Wow, that's super creamy. Just gonna touch up this wing. Finally, I'm just gonna do some lower lash mascara. Okay guys, let's talk about NYX lip products because I feel like NYX does lip products really well. So first off, this is like new for me and I've been loving their lip liners, their new suede matte lip liners. You guys, these are $4. Like if there's one thing you get from today's video, it's these lip liners. It's just like a wooden lip pencil, but it's so creamy. The colors are amazing, and it's just such a great formula. And if you like just a traditional non-matte lip pencil, something a little bit more creamy, their slide-on glide-on lip pencils are absolutely amazing. So in the slide-on glide-on formula, I love the shade Sugar Glass and Nude Suede Shoes. I will leave them down below for you guys. They're just like, of course, nude pinks. And then in the suede matte ones, I really love the shade Sandstorm and London. What color do I want to use today? Let's do London. London is more of like a warm tone brown lip liner. It's perfect, you guys. Like, it's literally a perfect formula. For lipstick, I have really been enjoying the suede matte lipstick. This color, I've been talking about it in like every single video, Dainty Days. It's just like a peachy pink nude. This is just like a really great everyday color. But today I have their new Shout Loud satin lipsticks that I want to try out. I just saw these today at Ulta. So I guess the formula obviously is satin, whereas the other ones are more matte. This one is in the color a la mode. So let's test this out. Oh my gosh, one word, butter. It's so creamy. Oh my goodness. And this color, like, let's take a moment. This is honestly probably like the same exact color as the matte one, a little bit. Yeah, let's swatch them side by side so we can kind of do a little comparison. Yeah, I think these are literally the same exact color. Like, obviously the names are different on the actual lipstick tube, but like, they're pretty much the same thing, except the satin one obviously is more of a satin formula. The matte one is a little bit more matte, but it's a comfortable matte. So both of these are great. Oh my gosh, I think this formula might be a little bit better than the matte one just because it's so creamy. Like, it feels like a buttercream lipstick. And I also wanted to shout out their lingerie liquid lipsticks. I really like these as well. I haven't used them in quite some time, but they are really great. You just need one layer and you'll be good to go. And they have a lot of nude shades in these as well, like different kinds of nudes for different skin tones, which is another thing that I really love about them. So the one that I have here is in the shade Dusk to Dawn. It's like that really pretty, like peachy, pinky nude. Really, really nice. But yeah, I figured I would shout that out. And then this is the last lip product, but their butter glosses are so good. Like, this is an OG favorite. I've been using these probably since like high school, when I was like a junior, senior in high school. They're incredible. A really great buttery formula. I'm gonna just top this off today with some of this, even though I don't really need it, but just to show you guys. This one's in the shade Madeline. I've never used this color. I really like the shade Fortune Cookie. They smell so good. Oh yeah, of course I like it because it's a nude. I love these because they're not sticky. It's just like a really creamy lip gloss, and it gives you like a little bit of gloss without being like gloppy and gross on the lips. It's amazing. Last and certainly not least, I'm gonna go ahead and set my makeup, and I'm gonna use the Radiant Finish setting spray. I really love their setting sprays as well. They have a matte one that's really great, but today I'm gonna use this one. It gives you like a really natural dew to the skin. It's just like, I don't wanna say it's a dew, it's more of just like an inner glow. It makes you look very pretty. There's no glitter in the setting spray or anything, but it's really nice. I used it the other day and I really liked the way my makeup looked after a few hours of wearing it, so this is what I'm using today. Also, it sprays very nicely, very evenly. Okay guys, so this is the completed look. What do you think? I love it. I think this is probably one of my favorite looks that I have filmed. I just love the little pop of pink liner. It's just, I'm living for it. NYX definitely gets a double thumbs up for me. If I had to rate the brand as a whole, I'm definitely gonna give it a 10 out of 10, an A, even though there's a couple things that I didn't love in today's video, only like 2 things. For the most part, the brand is really great. They have a lot to choose from, lots of variety, lots of colors, and I'm here for it. As far as like the new stuff that I tried today, I am so impressed. Like this lipstick, this is literally like a buttercream lipstick, and you guys need to go out and get it. They have so many shades and it's like amazing. I also really like the waterline liner that I used today. It was super creamy. And this liquid liner is absolutely amazing. I love how it dried down matte and it was so easy to work with, so you guys were right. I also did like the pore filling primer. I thought this was really pretty. My skin looks really soft right now and it looks super smooth. And I actually really love the micro brow pencil. I think this turned out really great as well. So overall, I love everything that I used except the beauty sponge, which didn't work out for me, and the eyeshadow palette. I mean, of course, I love this look. I think the eyeshadow turned out really well overall. Like, I was definitely able to like make it work, but I wouldn't recommend this just because this is an $18 eyeshadow palette, and I feel like it doesn't live up to the $18. Like, I had to really work with some of the colors. They didn't blend out super easily, and I feel like overall the formula of the mattes in here, they're pretty dry and they're a little chalky, so you do have to really work with them. So I feel like for $18 you can get so much more with other brands versus this. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite, so for that reason I'm not going to recommend it to you guys. But everything else I really do love, and I think these products are definitely worth trying if you're in the market for some new NYX goodies. I hope that this video can help you out a little bit. So yeah, thank you guys so much for everything. I really hope you enjoyed it, and once again I will leave everything that I mentioned down below, and don't forget to check out my one brand tutorial playlist if you guys want to check out more of my one brand looks. Thank you guys so much for everything. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye!
Lightning strikes by my